Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading, a daily reading from Tattle Tales, from Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so just take the parts that resonate and leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning that it's the perfect time for you to be, if you're watching this now. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. Sorry, that's my cat, Stella. Did you just wake up and come to watch the reading, hey? Okay, so we do have the underlying energy. I did a quick meditation beforehand with this sunstone. This is from India, and so is this dragon. And this is talking about the star. Well, I'm going to take the tarot energy first. We have the High Priestess. So this is, the High Priestess is highly intuitive. Perfect for tonight because I'm doing the reading. It's the 29th and it is a full moon out there. And we can feel that energy. It's pretty intense, this full moon. There's a lot of astrological influences that have built up to tonight. So if you're feeling a little emotional and a little bit excitable, that could be that full moon out there. The High Priestess is highly intuitive though, and she knows that when there's a full moon, that's when our intuition is super, super sharp. She is sitting in between these two pillars that are complete opposites. And in between her, you see all this energy in the background there. That is information coming in from both sides. And she is having to sort through that information. If she's asking her a question logically, all this information is coming in. And she might have, let's say, 5 logical answers. And she has to decide, okay, which one of those 5 logical answers is the best one for me at this time. One answer might be good for one person, but another answer might be better for another. And so she thinks about it, gets the question, asks it, gets the logical answers, and then she stops thinking and she starts to feel. And when I say feel, I mean a lot of times people will confuse their brain with their mind and their mind with their brain. Your mind is the thinking part of you, your will, and the brain is actually your central nervous system. And your central nervous system is made up of your brain and your spine and the components of that. And it is what allows you to feel sensations throughout your body. And psychosomatically, when we are energetically strong or weak, we have different sensations in our body to whatever information is presented. And so quite often people, when they're weak to something they see or hear or, that they say out loud, they will have a weak reaction. And energetically, a lot of people will describe that as the sensations being like an elevator dropping, boom, when your stomach drops like that. And that energy is what a lot of people refer to as a gut feeling. And then if you're strong, it just makes you want to stand up taller, and you can feel the energy in your spine. And so this is, you can tell, train yourself to be able to feel those sensations. And as you look at each of the 5 logical answers, one of them is going to stick out and be the strongest. And there's going to be weak ones. And so you pick the strongest one by the sensations that you get from your body. And that's how she trains her intuition. Your intuition is very much connected to your feeling, not your thinking. So you ask the question, you stop thinking, you feel, and then you logically apply whatever answer comes up. You'd be surprised how your creative solutions come in, and they are really, you might find them to be very successful for whatever it is that you're trying to find the answers to. And so the star energy is talking about innocence, and it's also galactic energy. It's, not that long ago, the scientists discovered that, the human body is made up of a great deal of water, a large percentage, and so are the stars. And so this energy, the star is a galactic energy, but stars are made up of water as well. So we are more like stardust than we know. And this energy is saying that you may be a star and not know it. This is talking about the pearl of wisdom. And this energy is, this little dragon is from India. This is representing galactic energy following your North Star. Your North Node, it represents, the North Star represents your North Node energy. And that's when you are following your destined path, being the best version that you can be, and move forward in that energy. We do have, for the first card out, the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is talking about the energy of information, communication coming in. The Knight of Swords would work for the king and queen and the rest of the court of the Swords energy. The Swords energy is representing the element of air, and the element of air is your thoughts, basically. The Swords represent mental intelligence, discipline of the mind. And, the Knight of Swords is clearly running from something, so he might be running from the star energy and the intuition that the star energy has, and running towards something, but we can't really see what he's running towards. There doesn't seem to be anything really, except for the money maybe. But that's behind him. He's over here, so he's past the money. So we don't really know, but we know that quite often he's considered a fool rushing in, because he is, we can only see half his sword, so he might only have half the information. We can't see the point. He might not be able to either. He's got this big red flag on his helmet, and he's pushing this horse so hard. They're running through barren land against the wind, and the horse is totally stressed out. And the horses in tarot represent your heartfelt energy and your passion. So this is talking about someone who is like pressing the panic button, and so he is trying to get somewhere as quickly as possible, or running away from something as quickly as possible, or both. And this is some sort of information, communication coming in. Sometimes this can represent an investigation happening. It can represent technology being used, like it could be hidden cameras and hot mics and that type of energy. We have, and it could even represent someone has hired a private investigator, or there is legal or illegal investigation going on. And then we do have the 10 of Pentacles, and Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, happiness in the 3D world, and a big part of that, of course, is money. And so the Pentacle energy is actually the element of earth, so it's about matters of the earth and earthly matter, actual physical matter. So we need money to be able to be happy in the 3D world. This is like the 10, like this is the most you can have in tarot. And someone's hit the golden buzzer. And this is quite often talking about after having some hardship in your life, that this is like a windfall that comes in unexpectedly. So it's like, it could be an unexpected inheritance, or, someone left something for you in a will. Quite often it can represent real estate because it's matters of the earth and land. And so this is talking about having it goes past money though, because it's talking more about lifestyle. You could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. So this is more talking about like you have, the special partner, and you love them and they love you, and you love where you live. And it's like all of this energy, the children, the pets, you have time to stop and chat with the neighbors. It's talking lifestyle, as well as the coin energy. And this energy is saying that, this is something that is very much possible for you to obtain at this time. And then we have the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups energy is talking about walking away from someone or something Now, sometimes this could represent, the cups can represent romantic love, but they quite often can also represent, family members or, anyone or anything that you love. And it also can represent something that you love to do or something you love to be. And you notice we have that moon energy there again. We have the full moon and the new moon energy. So this is talking about, we have that full moon tonight. It's in the air. And then we have like the Eight of Cups here is talking about maybe putting like 8 years of energy, time, money, energy, investing in something that you love to do or be, or someone, and it can even be like friends, family, that type of energy. So it could be romantic or not, but someone is walking away, and it looks like maybe after like 8 years. So it's not a small amount of energy put into this. This is walking away. There's only 10 cups, so if there's 8 here, this is after putting a lot of energy and effort into something. And now this could represent you walking away, or someone could be walking away from you. And then we have, it's interesting because we have commitment, marriage here. This is talking about having a strong base for a new beginning, a strong foundation. And quite often this card is considered to be like the official marriage card in tarot. So this is like, it's about commitments and partnerships and marriage sometimes. If it's not about romantic love, this could be like a business partnership or, family, business or something like that. And this energy, it's basically saying you have the down payment for your castle. So congratulations on that. But you still have to make the mortgage payments. And it's talking about, if this is about marriage, the answer was both people have said, yes, you're planning the wedding. But now after that, you need to pour energy into this relationship so that it remains promising like this. And then we have the Ace of Cups, and it is talking about a new cup of love coming in after this hardship. So this could this could have represented the money or the energy here of leaving a marriage, but it also could represent remarrying someone else because now we have an Ace of Cups here. And so the Ace of Cups is a gift from the divine and the universe collaborating to bring a new love into your life. Now, sometimes that could just be for yourself. It could be romantic. It could be love, a business or something that you love to do. But it's peaceful. We have a dove here, and then we have this overflowing water. Like it just replenishes itself like a fountain. And so it's saying this is like something that will last. And out of the mud and any hardship that you've gone through here, you're now going to be able to grow these beautiful water lilies. So it's saying out of the mud grows beautiful things. And we have this strength energy. And so this is about infinite potential. You see the infinity symbol here. This is 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. And we have this young woman reaching into this mature lion, into his mouth. And this is a very dangerous thing to do, but he's being submissive in allowing it. And that's because she's very determined. She wants to reach her infinite potential, get out of this energy and get this energy, I think would be a good idea, and this new love. After going through maybe a breakup in her marriage. This can also be a strong base for moving forward. But what she is doing is she's looking at her shadow side. She's looking at, okay, what can I do differently to get what I want out of my life and, have a happier life? And what should I change about myself, and what part did I have in this? And it takes a lot of courage and strength to face your shadow side and deal with it in that way. But she's doing the inner work so that she can have the results that she wants. And then we have so now there's some information coming in about pentacles. Now this energy can talk about fears from your childhood, and this energy, what is she walking away from? As I said, it sometimes could be family energy, and like the base, her base. But because this pentacle energy, the pages would work for the king and the queen, the court. at around the age of 7 to 14, depending on how mature they were. Back then, the life expectancy was like half of what it is now, so people went to work early. And the pentacle energy, the page is really focused on this pentacle. His job would be to run communication throughout the court and do small tasks and errands, and he'd be given more responsibility as he got older. And when he was 21, he might even be considered for knighthood. Now, that might be significant for you because this could represent, like, it feels like there's some sort of energy that maybe is from when you were younger. And so this could represent some information coming in about this energy from when you were young, like like the time frame could be like when you were in elementary school, high school, starting college, university. If you think back to that time, what was going on in your life, and also it can represent people that you knew from back then. So quite often that can involve family members because of course you know them when you're younger, but this could be friends from high school or people that you started work, you apprenticed with, when you first started working or whatever. A lot of people, even if they're going to university or college, get a part-time job to help pay for it. So it could be representing that type of energy. And then we have all these opportunities coming in. Yeah. So this energy, this information about pentacles, I feel is talking about like a new start kind of energy. And after walking away from whatever situation this was. And it's talking about having a much better lifestyle, a lot more opportunity coming in once you let go of this energy. And this could be accepting love for yourself. Like I'm saying, I'm worth doing the inner work here, because I want to have the best life I can have. It's that type of energy. We have this is like the Seven of Cups. It's kind of a different card. It's talking about each of these cups is a gift that's coming in from the universe, but you notice they're like in a big cloud of smoke here. So it's kind of like you have to sort of decide, which one of these would be the right one or which ones. And, they are kind of cloaked in an energy, like, when it's smoky and or foggy and you can't quite see through that. I have a clearer picture of them. So each of these cups is wrapped up in a challenge. And so you're sucking all this opportunity in like a black hole, basically. And but like a black hole, you are the center of your universe. So you have to put your own spin on all of these opportunities and decide, okay, which one is best for me. It kind of using your intuition. This isn't a logical choice. This is intuitive. Like how I explained how the high priestess does it. And this is about wanting to reach your star potential. So this first cup here is about beauty. And I mean, it would be beautiful to be beautiful. Life is beautiful when you're beautiful. Having said that, if you rely too much on your outer beauty, you might not develop your inner beauty, and then you won't be as beautiful as you want to be. And then we have this energy of there's someone underneath this shroud, but we don't know, is this good, bad, ugly, what is under there? And we have a snake here, which a lot of people would maybe consider, a yellow-bellied coward slithering through the grass. And other people might look at it and think of it as rebirth and being able to shed your skin and move forward and let go of everything that you don't want in your life anymore and move forward in a strong way. This is perfect energy for a full moon. That's what full moons, that's the best energy you can be in for a full moon. And then we have the castle energy. Castles are beautiful. They're expensive to keep though, and they are quite often, they're built on cliffs. And so they're very isolating. So sometimes they could be lonely and isolating and, kind of cold. And then this energy is of the flowers, or, it's talking, are you going to keep your buds all closed, or are you really going to open up and be, a bouquet, basically? trying new things and reaching for the light. And then we have the laurel wreath, and laurel wreaths are definitely a sign of victory, but they also are laid on coffins. And then we have the dragon energy, and some people are very afraid of dragons and feel they're evil, and other people feel that they bring good fortune, and we can learn a lot from their power. So this is talking about which one of these would you know, like, and what is the spin you're going to put on it. Other people might not be able to see the possibility in the cups that you choose. And then we have a big transition happening here. So this card, a lot of times people get afraid of this card because, tarot cards are not predictive. They are talking about a snapshot in time right here. This is saying the trajectory of where you're headed, basically. How you know, it depends on how fast you're going and what direction you're going in, but this can change, you know, and you know, as soon as you make a decision. So this is talking kind of where you are now. And it's representing the end of a cycle and rebirth of another. And that's kind of what the full moon is also representing. You know, like it's swelling, and then you know, 2 weeks from now there'll be a sliver of a moon that's a new moon. So this energy is talking about that cycle of energy, something ending and something beginning, and also about light at the end of the tunnel. So if you've been going through a difficult time, and it's sitting right on this here, so there could be like some information maybe coming in that this energy, that this transition is about to happen, because there's you know, and maybe this energy is talking about after, you know, a windfall after hardship. And so the older person here, he's kind of bartering with the Grim Reaper, and he's like, we don't want your change, we don't want you to come into town. But the young people are like, yes we do. They're bored, they live in a small town, and when a stranger comes through, you know, it might be something interesting happening. And this little one here is actually handing the Grim Reaper a flower, and that's representing the new bloom of new energy. And you know, they do say that the one thing you can, or two things you can count on, are death and taxes, but you can also count on change. The thing is, most of us don't really acknowledge change that much, but change is happening every second of every minute of every day. But it's when it has a major impact on our reality as we see it that we notice the change, whether it's good or bad. And then we have the energy of a king being trampled underfoot here. And that's talking about old systems have to end at some point. We have to revive different, redo systems sometimes, moving into new energy. And the planet right now is in there's a lot of the planets that are the big, the big hitting planets have moved into new positions, and they've done it all like within the last 6 months, most of them. And it's quite a lot of energy, of new energy. A lot of them moved into the sign of Aries, and they all gathered there and made plans, and then some are still there, you know. And so this energy is talking about old systems, seeing the cracks in them not working like they used to, and having to move forward in new ways. And it can even be like just something as simple as like maybe you have a hobby and you've always loved doing it, and now all of a sudden you wake up one morning and you're just, I don't really want to do that anymore. And everybody's wondering, well, what are we going to get you for your birthday now? And nobody can believe that you actually gave it up. It's something you never thought you would. It's shocking you as well, but you just, the wheel of fortune is turning, and you're ready for new. You're ready for, the wheel of fortune is sitting on this windfall, if you've noticed that. So if you don't want to claim this reading, I will. It's good for all of us. So the wheel of fortune is the past, the present, and the future are all spinning into synchronicity together. And that's when the universe will start showing us synchronicities. Now, some people call that coincidence, but they rarely manifest at this level if they don't notice the synchronicities. And so, on one of these wheels, there's 3 of them actually, the past, the present, and the future. And on one of them is actually the Hebrew letters for the name of God, which is tetragrammaton. And that is a sacred geometric symbol talking about equalization of all forces and divine order. And this is God's plan. So this is moving into, when you start going, when you reach your crown and glory and you're on God's plan, well, then that's when the universe will really support you in what you're doing, and all of a sudden things start moving and shifting. And there is a tower. I was wondering if we would get a tower tonight. I would be surprised on this full moon if we didn't, actually. But so the tower is when your intuition has been telling you you need to pay attention to something, but you're missing it. And this reading is a lot about that energy of really paying attention to your intuition. You know, when we're children, we're way more intuitive, and then we kind of get schooled out of it. And so this is talking about, you know, the tower hits, it's a reality check that hits, and there's lightning has hit the tower and of the castle, and now it's on fire and people are falling out of it. And this is something like, if you could have nipped this in the bud, the universe will whisper to us, and then it gets louder and we get the frying pan treatment over the head, and we don't, you know, you're like, whoa, that hurt. But the universe is like, hey, the 2x4 is going to be worse. But you still don't get it. And then, oh, lightning hits your tower. Now, the thing is about the reality check, you know, what's the odds of getting hit by lightning like this? Not that high. About the same as winning the lottery. So this windfall energy can be like, if you're on the right side of, you know, justice and spiritual law and law in the 3D, this could be, this reality check, it's going to be uncomfortable no matter what, but it could be uncomfortable, and a while later you're going like, wow, that was the best thing that ever happened. That was super hard, but am I ever glad it happened? Because now that I know what I know, I realize like, whoa, I needed that reality check. So it can be talking about that type of energy. And, you know, if you're on the wrong side of the law, it's kind of one of those things where you're now going to have to pay the consequences for your actions or inactions. And then we have the Two of Cups coming in. So this was interesting. This card came up, and it a lot of information came with yesterday's daily reading. And I was wondering if this was going to come up. I did leave a post regarding what this was about, because it was really interesting energy. This is talking about the twin soul energy. This is talking about two people coming together under a soul contract to meet up. And this, it's kind of like this reality check throws them together. I feel like one, you know, definitely this is this new love energy coming in now. And because you've done the work, your soulmate this is the wheel of fortune turning, and here comes your soulmate. And so this, and look at, you know how like there's the 8 cups here, and here's the 2 instead. And these 2 are going to be much more fun than these 8 were. That's the energy I'm getting. And we do have this energy of the masculine and the feminine energy being in perfect balance. That's kind of what when this card comes out and I'm doing readings, I consider this card to be about our connection to the Most High, to God, to Jesus, to divine source energy. And this energy is, I refer to as HSN, the Higher Self Network. And it's like when we have direct communication through meditation and prayer, and that we are communicating with the universe at a very high level, and also with the Most High, and we're really connected and get direction. And that's when the soulmates tend to show up. And the soulmate quite often is about romantic love, but doesn't have to be. It can be you know, about business or a partnership doing that way, or it can be both. But it's someone that really adds a lot of joy to your life, and you add joy to theirs. And it's kind of like a soul agreement to meet up like in that energy. It's interesting because a lot of, this is the Hermes symbol. And a lot of, in the United States, this is considered the symbol for medicine. And it came up for me like yesterday, the Hippocratic Oath. And I was like, is that connected to this? But the Hippocratic Oath is basically what has been around for, since like a long time in Greece, way back when. And it's basically the bottom line is that first, harm no one. That's that agreement that people in the medical, like pharmaceutical and medical energy, that's the promise they make, that they won't harm anyone. And so that's sort of a different thing. And then this is the Hermes symbol is actually really interesting. Was considered a message for the messengers of the gods back in the Greek days and in the Roman days. And now I can't remember. You'll have to take a look at it, because I did that early this morning, and now I'm not sure that I can pronounce them properly. I was going to write it down in case this card came up, and then I totally forgot. But there's a rod of, I can't remember the name. It's another god. And that is actually, this was the son of Apollo, and Apollo was the healer of, the god of the healing in ancient times. And that energy is what this rod of, it starts with an A, was representing the healing energy. And this was more about messengers and about commerce. And so it's kind of interesting to read. You can check it out in my posts if you want to know more about it. But it came up, and I wanted to make sure I was clear that when I'm using this, because a lot of these symbols can be used in many different ways, and they're misappropriated all over the place. For me, I read intuitively, and for me, this is representing that higher self network. It doesn't really have that much to do with the medicine or whatever, but it did come up in yesterday's reading. So we have the Two of Wands here, and this is someone standing at the top of the turret of their castle, and there's two wands here, and we do have the he's holding the globe there, and that represents, like, I have the world in my hands. So this is someone who feels like a big fish in a little pond, though. He's got this wand planted, and that's saying that he's been very successful, but he wants to expand his horizons, and he maybe lives in a smaller area. And this horizon over here with the water in between can talk about overseas communication, energy like that. So it could be talking about wanting to expand a business or something you're really passionate about. It could be actually relocating, and it could be talking about wanting to get together in this energy and move somewhere together, or go on a vacation together, or travel, whatever that is. Sometimes this can even mean literally getting up and moving and changing location. But it kind of reminds me of like the entrepreneur energy, where maybe someone wants to franchise, that type of energy. It's about taking passionate action. And then look at this, we have the Ace of Wands here, saying, yeah, like this energy, like this is really powerful energy. And it's talking about how if you're feeling kind of like, because the energy's been heavy, in the last few days with this full moon energy, and I've noticed it's kind of, with the readings that I've been doing, it's like half and half energy. And it depends on which side of, the justice you're on. Like, have you been doing your best to be, on track here? And this is talking about a new passion for discovery. This card has been coming in a lot. So I feel like that, this is talking about having adventure in your life again. And if you like to travel, being able to do that again, and having like that joyful energy, like where you wake up in the morning and you're like, yes, I can't wait to see what happens today. And a lot of people aren't in that energy right now with the economy and everything that's happening in the world. The energy's been pretty heavy for us, but it's good to see that it's starting to lighten up a little bit here. And then we have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords energy is talking about, disciplining your mind. It's this energy here about quieting your mind and feeling through meditation and prayer, connecting to the higher self network here, to the Most High, and hanging your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind up on the wall, saying, I'm not thinking, I'm feeling with my heart. And then we have on the stained glass window is this word PAX, and it's talking about PAX, it's peace of mind. So I feel like there's an energy coming in this reading for a lot of people. If you're in this energy where you've been doing a lot of inner work and maybe, really been disciplining your mind through meditation and through prayer, that this energy you're feeling like it's you can just feel it. It's heavy energy, and at the same time, it's almost like, you can feel, though, that some change is coming, some lighter energy. So we have information coming in that someone's kind of panicking about, and we still don't, he's riding off this way. And then this is about a major transition, though. And we have the promise of having this really beautiful lifestyle, and the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your way to add new passion to your life and to really give you peace of mind, and that's here as well. And then this is talking about new adventure with a soulmate energy, and having done the inner work to attract this new love coming into your life. And I feel like this energy in the center here, and it's talking about, for here, like walking away from the old. And then look at, this is where you have the 2 cups here. So this is really, really good energy for manifesting what you want. And that's what the star energy manifests through innocence, like remaining childlike, not naive, but innocent. So if you're leaving the reading here, this is a pretty awesome reading. I don't really know what I'm going to call it yet. Quite often when I'm doing my thumbnails and my titles, I do it later. And I'll sit on the energy and then figure out, okay, what's this really about? And so sometimes it takes till the end of my readings to get to what, I like to sit with them for a while. And so this energy here, I'm going to clarify with my oracle cards. And the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in the gallery of my website, talesfromthevector.com. And I will put them in the description box below in the order that they appear here with the information from my website. So if you want to check them out, you can. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. There's not really a lot of information, a lot of action happening in this. It's a lot of promise of that happening. And we have, right on here, see, we have someone here who's jealous of, somehow people know something about this. There's some jealousy that this is coming your way. I can feel this energy. Like this is the star energy. All of a sudden, it'll feel like the star energy is kind of where everybody else will be looking at you and thinking, it was overnight success, but you've been busting your butt, to get to where you are for years maybe. And you're saying finally, and they're saying, oh, it was all luck or whatever, And so this is degradation of energy. That's what you're walking away from. I don't know. It's really weird energy. It feels like you might have had a partner that was jealous of your potential or something. It's that type of energy. And then we have attachment, which is a karmic space. Now, a lot of people think that karma is punishment, but it's really cause and effect. That's what it is. It's like for your actions and sometimes your inactions. And so we can fall into a lot of karmic spaces. And, this one is when someone is attached, like the saying on this is the basic foundation for you after walking away from a situation that was degrading your energy, and the promise of maybe this coming in, and someone is like jealous of that. And here it says, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. So that doesn't sound very fair, does it? And then we have the Hierophant, and this is talking about this relationship coming in is, I feel like a blessing coming in for you. The Hierophant has his right hand in the form of a blessing. And it's talking about the Hierophant's responsible for bringing justice in from the spiritual down to the physical through the traditional structure. So the courts of law in the land. And this is about you now being on a foolhardy journey. So you can anticipate your journey. The fool starts out at the 0 point and moves forward. And because you've done a lot of this inner work, you are sitting on this. And that's when the soulmate energy arrives, is when you are going to really feel this. Now, if you're not looking for a romantic partner or a business partner or something like this sometimes can talk about your masculine and feminine energy being very even and connecting to source. But that's kind of boring compared to anticipating having a lot of fun with a soulmate. And there was deception. That's what the Tower was about. So there we have it. A hex in the city, kiss me good. There was some sort of deception in your relationship that you had, and that's why you walked away or they walked away. So you may not know that even yet, but if they walked away with you, it's because there was deception in your relationship. That someone was tempted. And this has caused a major transition. And it's this energy again. It's a weird energy. I feel like your partner, who is like your significant other, was jealous of you. Which is what, yeah, I mean, whatever. We're not like, whatever that is, that is. But this is saying they were tempted by something. And, well, by the devil. And so when the devil comes up, this is talking about temptation. And I always cover it with the next card, because you're not going to get the truth from the devil. So he always sends a minion in to do his dirty work, or sometimes God covers it. So let's see what happens here. The Wheel of Fortune changes. Look at that. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. That, look at that. This is saying, bottom line is that this transition, when this person deceived you and was degrading your energy and was attached to what was yours, that's what this Hierophant energy is coming in, and you can anticipate this strong energy because you've been doing the work, and this new soulmate energy to come in, and they're the ones that are really feeling this Tower. Boom. And this is talking their will. Like if they thought they were going to enjoy this without you, with someone else, that's the energy I'm picking up. No, they're whatever, the Wheel of Fortune is turning in the opposite direction for them with the devil, and the Wheel of Fortune is turning for you with this new energy when the Tower hits. That's when your soulmate comes in. Isn't that like really, really funny how clear that is? And then lack of awareness. Never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. Yeah, that's these missed opportunity, the missed opportunity energy that we have. Where was that energy here? The deception, because they wanted your opportunities, but they didn't want to share it with you. They wanted to share it with someone else. I feel like a third party energy, and they walked away. Like this can represent the 7-year itch when someone walks away, like has an affair or something and leaves a relationship after 7 years. It's one of the second most common time time frame that someone leaves a relationship. So never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. I'm getting that you really did your best to make it work, and you didn't want to see it, and you missed out on a lot of these opportunities here. But now the Wheel of Fortune, and they were taking advantage of those opportunities, but they were enjoying them with someone else. Really, that's like not, but now the wheel is turning, and now you and your soulmate energy are going to enjoy that energy. What a wild reading. And then we have having the courage. See, having the courage to do the inner work and stay on your destined path is really paid off for you. Big time, big time. This is about having the courage to keep going and not becoming bitter. I'd rather be better than bitter. That's the energy. And this does say sibling rivalry. So there could have been some sort of energy, but I feel this is more about someone, well, it could be someone from your past. It doesn't have to be a lover, but it feels like in this reading that it is because of the kissing, you know, unless you had a kissing cousin. I don't even want to get into that. We'll leave it at this. So this is having the courage to, you know, really do that inner work and take a good look at yourself to figure out, okay, how am I going to get to where I want to go? So yeah, you can anticipate a real strong future here. And I feel like the energy of this full moon, I feel like why it's so heavy is on one end, it's like the scales of justice. One boom is going down, and the other one, it's like you're like a springboard, like a rocket, or you know, like choom, just taking off. All of a sudden, things start happening really quickly for you. It's already in the air, is what I'm getting. So I do hope you've enjoyed this. This is a really good reading and has a lot of promise to it. Thank you for your time, your energy, likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. And I will be back with another daily reading for you tomorrow. Bye for now.